Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received. The message reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I can say that from a very young age, I was someone that was really gifted. I never stayed at home for a very long period of time. They said that on me there was that spirit which they call the spirit of finding wealth. Like my own forefathers, we used to go out there hunting. But as for me, I would go out hunting for money. From a very young age, I had already traveled to different countries. I had gone to Botswana as well as Mozambique. And when I went to Botswana first, I was 15 years old. By the age of 17, I had already gone to Mozambique and returned back. And when I went to Mozambique, I would be going to sell some old newspapers and I would return with rice. Then I would sell the rice to the people in our community. All of a sudden, Brother Nashi, that was when I started to have a lot of dreams. In my dreams, I'll be surrounded by a lot of people and I will be busy preaching as well as prophesying. So in the family in which I grew up in, we were going to the White Garment Church. I spoke with my father about this issue. He then told me about this other group of prophets, but in the village where he was born. So I had to leave the capital city of Harare. Then I would have to go back to the village. I was then taken to the village by my father, because he had seen that in me there is a great gift. And you know, in the families right now, whenever they see that there is a child that has potential to become a prophet, this automatically means that the family will have a means of income. At that young age, Brother Nashi, as I started to go around prophesying, it was actually assisting my family, because I was helping out my father to take my own siblings to school. Whenever I would prophesy, someone will come with a cow. Some villagers will bring their goats as well as chickens. Then we would later on sell these goats and chickens. It even reached a point whereby my father started his own butchery, but not like a butchery that had a building. You know, those people that sell meat by the side of the road. This is what my mom and my father were doing. Whenever we would get a cow, we will slaughter it. Then my father and my mother will sell the meat by the side of the road. And we were now living a very comfortable life. Whilst I was at that church, I was even given a high position. This was at the age of 21 when I was given a position in the White Garment Church. And this caused a lot of parents in that village to bring their own kids to me, because they said that I was a blessed man of God and they wanted their daughters to be with me. They wanted their daughters to become my wives. I actually had 2 wives at one point in time at the age of 21 to 22. But in that same church, a lot of people, they started to feel really jealous about me, because I was about to become a bishop when I was that young. So they told me that I was busy being adulterous with the women in the village. So I then left that village because I was afraid that all of this gossip, it was going to make someone to murder me, when someone would have been lied to that this young man is busy sleeping with your own wife. This was quite dangerous for me. So I had to leave that village and I returned back to the capital city. And being in the capital city, I can say that it was quite a blessing, a very big blessing, because when I came back to Harare, I was on fire. And whenever someone would come to our house and I would prophesy, I used to chase away a lot of tokologies. I was not even afraid to go into the cemetery at night to dig up the charms that someone would have digged in that cemetery. And a lot of people, they were actually giving me big money because I was able to defeat all of these evil spirits as well as the tokologies. And when I was now attending this other church, because my father, my mom, they were all kicked out of that White Garment Church because of my powers, because I had seen that the one who was the bishop who was leading at that White Garment Church where we were going to, He also had his own charms. He had a tokoloshi that transformed itself at night, and it will go around the neighborhood causing a lot of sicknesses. And when people would come to him, since his tokoloshi was the one who was causing all of these sicknesses, then he will be able to heal the people in the community. He feared that I was going to expose him, because at that time I was really innocent, and he kicked me out and kicked my parents out of that church. I then started attending another church, but when I was in that church, there was a very big, powerful prophet who used to appear on the radio. He said that he wanted to assist me so that I can become as famous as he was. I started staying at his house. I actually have a child with his daughter. This man, he then gave me one of his snakes, because this man, he had a snake that he was operating with. So this snake later on had other baby snakes. So he gave me one of those snakes. So I started to use this snake operating as a prophet, and whenever I'll be around a lot of people, the snake will actually reveal the secrets of the people that will be gathered there at his church. He then advised me to start my own church, and I then started my own church. But me and him, we really had a very big fight, because suddenly his own snake just died. So he said, I want my snake back, because this was after he had seen that I was now making a lot of money. He started to create tensions in my home, causing his daughter to be not so obedient towards me. Whenever she wanted, she would return back to her father as he so pleased. Whenever she wanted, she would return back to her own father. And this was just too much for me. That was when I divorced that prophet's daughter. And when I divorced that prophet's daughter, that snake, it started to fight against me. It started telling me to return it back to its original owner. And I didn't want to do that, because being a prophet, this was like my means of, and I didn't want to return back this snake, because being a prophet who had these powers, at least it was giving me an income I had never worked in my entire life, because I started to prophesy when I was really, really young. So going to work, like going to find a job, it was never an option for me. So me and my father-in-law, we started fighting over this snake. Sometimes someone will come to me, and as I'll be praying for that person, calling out the name of that snake, then I would suddenly see my father-in-law. He will be fighting against me, trying to snatch away that snake from me, so that this snake cannot assist me. So now my business was really going down, and finally that snake left my house. And the day that the snake left my house, that was the last day that I was able to prophesy correctly. What I'll do was just guesswork. When someone would come to me, I'll just lie to them, and I'll say that your relative is the one who does not want you to succeed. And this made a lot of people to be very suspicious, because I was now unable to heal the sick, to perform miracles like I used to. Currently, I am now staying in an area in Currently, I am now staying in Bulawayo. This was after I had moved out of Harare and I came to Bulawayo and I got married. I'm still operating as a prophet, but I'm no longer making that money. But what is going on at my father-in-law's church is that he is sacrificing a lot of people, because by the blood of those people that he would have sacrificed, the people that comes to his church, whenever he sacrifices someone, then his snake will get so much bigger. Like the other snake that died, it was really big, Brother Nashi. So for this snake to be as big as the one that died, he has to sacrifice a lot of people amongst his congregants. And it pains me a lot, but at the same time, deep down in my heart, I feel jealousy, because I know that he is making a lot of money and he stole that snake from me, the snake that was making me to be able to prophesy. In my days, when I was being assisted by this snake, even when I would be walking, just walking randomly, if I would meet a stranger, then I would see the life of that person flashing before my eyes, the life that the person had lived, his relatives, the important secrets that he or she has been hiding, as well as what the future was holding for that person. But one thing that was happening to me was that I was unable to see more than 4 years down the line. I would only see about 2 years into the future. So whenever I would give people correct prophecies, like telling them that next week when you are walking, you are going to come across this bus. This bus, it is going to be driven by such a man, and when you go to that man, he is going to tell you 1, 2, 3. So a lot of people were saying that I was a true prophet. I was even able to give the scores of the teams that will be playing on that day. A lot of people that were attending my church, they were into soccer betting. So they would come to me, then I would make them to pay me, and I would tell them that tonight, if it is Manchester that is going to be playing, it is going to score 1 or 2 goals. But most of the times I was unable to see exactly who will be scoring. But what I'll see was something that will, but the vision that I will see will be the final score. A lot of people, they were making money because of my prophecies, but now I can't prophesy anymore because this snake, it was snatched. But now I can't prophesy anymore because this snake, it was snatched away from me. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our brothers right there, who is saying that now I am in Bulawayo and I used to be a prophet. I am still a prophet, but I can't make money like I used to make money. The snake was the one that was assisting me to make so much money. Strange things do happen in this world.